3 plays, 15 yards, coming off a fumble recovery. Connor Weiser scores from 5 yards out. Extra point was no good. The drive took a minute 29. Beat Diggers lead 15-0. Cardenas boots is high but very short. It'll bounce at the 12, and it's picked up at the 8-yard line by Pinedo. We have the double handoff again, and Alexander takes it across the 10-yard line, and he's down at around the 12. All this trickery is not helping whatsoever. We've got late flags as a couple of Beat Diggers were down to make the tackle, including Izzy Hernandez. Now let's see who the flag is against. Hopefully it's not unsportsmanlike.
Well, whatever. It was 2 Mustangs against 1 Beat Digger there. I'm not sure that's going to be against Brush. It looked like there was some hands to the face. We'll see what they have to say here.
The ball spotted at the 13-yard line. The officials are discussing it at around the 20. 2 flags are down. So obviously 2 officials saw the same thing, but still no indication. I mean, it's definitely not unsportsmanlike now if they're taking this long, Dave.
Yeah.
I think you're right. It was on the tackle when those penalty flags are just after the tackle that they were thrown.
Yeah, it was after the tackle, and Jesus Cardenas was our Beat Digger that was out there involved in that. So I don't know if there's something to do with the kicker or what. But, going back to Fort Morgan's return game, all those fakes are great. I've seen that work a lot of times. We've seen that before over the years. But the problem is Brush is so quick. They hustle down the field. Holy cow. They got guys that stay home. They're disciplined. They're not falling for the fakes. And as soon as they try to bounce the ball outside Fort Morgan, the Diggers are there. Their containment are there.
Well, it is unsportsmanlike against Brush. I'm just trying to figure out what took so long. They threw the flags. They had a conference out there, so that football should be placed at the 33-yard line because it's at the 18 right now. And now there's 2 other officials discussing, and the flags have still not been picked up. So, Dave, I don't understand what's going on. I thought it was pretty clear-cut, which is why I said unsportsmanlike initially. But normally that's a call that's made quickly. Now Randy Dreitz is several steps onto the field. He wants an explanation.
Yeah, I saw a lot of hands to the face, and it didn't look like it was just Brush. I didn't see Jesus doing anything but kind of protecting himself. They had 2 guys that are blocking the kicker.
For all of your title needs, visit Tim Weimer at Northern Colorado Title, 205 West Kiowa in Fort Morgan, and at 1305 Edison Street in Brush. Your local Napa Auto Parts store is CNC Auto Parts. The Beat Diggers lead 15-0. They had a safety in the early going on a bad snap that went over the head of the punter, Tony Zwetzig, and then Brett Bostrom tackled him in the end zone. And then the Beat Diggers got the football back at the 36-yard line following the kickoff. They had to kick off at their 20. Mitch Tormolen from 36 yards away in a post pattern found Vince Albo, made it 9-0. And then 2 plays later, a fumble recovery, I believe by Weiser, but we didn't get the number. I mean, these high school players are so conditioned to throwing the ball back to the referee, the right way to do it. And sometimes you don't catch it. But anyway, 3 plays later, Connor Weiser on a 15-yard drive in a minute 29 scored from 5 yards out. Extra point was no good. So that's where we stand, 15-0 with 7:20 to go in a slow-moving opening quarter.
Another thing kind of we're talking about while we wait for the officials to decide what they want to do here. It looks like they're back in conference again. But another thing that's worth talking about is the Diggers don't usually have freshmen out on the field until later in the season. I've noticed on 2 kickoffs, Joe Carwin, number 70, big freshman football player. I know he's really physical, and he's out there on special teams already. So there you go again. Over the years, you see Coach Dreitz and his staff always trying to give all their underclassmen a lot of experience, and he's already got a freshman getting into the game. That says a lot for Joe Carwin.
Well, the football is now at the 22-yard line. I don't know, Dave, unless there's a new version of math. The ball was at the 18 when the play ended. A 15-yard penalty would take it to the 33, but it's now sitting at the 22, so I have no idea what these officials are doing. 2 are talking to Randy Dreitz, including the head referee. The other 3 are somewhere near the line of scrimmage, and 1 flag is still down. And maybe that flag is down to spot where the penalty occurred. I don't know.
Usually you just don't see so much conferencing over a call like that. If it's a call like that, usually it's cut and dried what's going on.
Yeah, and that football is actually now at the 13-yard line. So let's see if they move it to the 28. It was at the 18. But this is taking a while just for 1 penalty. after a special teams play, after a kickoff return.
But it's the first game of the year for the officials as well, so I'm sure they're getting their feet underneath of them with some of the new rules and some of the changes, and they're trying to make sure they get it right and start developing the right habits as they get into the regular season for a lot of the other leagues.
Well, I wonder now, was there an ejection at all? No, I think it was, but I saw the thumb wave, and that would signal an ejection, Dave.
Yeah.
So that might be the reason for the delay. I mean, we know that
it wasn't Cardenas.
Any time that you draw attention to yourself at the amateur level, that's going to be a penalty, and it could be even worse if you do something to obviously hurt the opponent and result in an ejection, but I think that's exactly what happened here. So they will move the football. It should be at the 28 if they're marking it from the 13, and that's exactly where it is. First and 10 for Fort Morgan at their own 28-yard line. The Beat Diggers with 7:20 to go in the opening quarter from Legion Field in the 2011 season opener. Lead by a score of 15-0. Well, they're rotating a lot of backs here. Michael Fitzsimmons is the deep back.
Yep, we had a player ejected. They're walking him off the field over there right now. It wasn't Jesus Cardenas. I'm not sure. It's hard to see the numbers out there. The Diggers' numbers kind of look the same, but he has to leave the game.
Matt Godo and Jose Miranda are in that backfield, and now they have to re-huddle. So it's 15-0 in favor of Brush. And we should resume play here any second. At least that's what we anticipate. So you rarely see this in high school football where a player is ejected early in the game. But obviously it was serious enough. It looks like Sean McConnell's being walked off the field. First and 10 for Fort Morgan at their own 28-yard line. The backs in an eye. Fitzsimmons is the deep back. James Martin's the junior quarterback under center. Now the offensive line is back in a standing position. Come on, let's resume this game already. Wow, it took a while. There's the handoff on the right side, and there's another collision there. I thought almost a fumble. Fitzsimmons to the 30-yard line. I said the Beat Diggers are getting so physical. I saw players pinball back. I thought it was the ball.
The Mustangs are in that double tight formation with the power I, and they're just trying to establish that running game. But the Diggers just have a lot of people that are at that point of attack. Guys, a lot of people are helping make the tackle.
A gain of 2. Felix Calderon and Bryant Woodward were in on the play. Second down and 8 from the 30-yard line. Again, 3 in the backfield. Barnes will hand it off to the deep back. Running left is Alexander, getting it around, but he cannot get around. Izzy Hernandez, who throws him down to the turf at the 30 for no gain. The junior makes a fantastic play out wide.
Well, he sure did. They kind of had us beat there on the corner. They were getting outside what they were outrunning us, but he couldn't outrun Izzy.
6:20 to go in the opening quarter from Legion Field. The Beat Diggers lead by a score of 15-0. Third down. And 8 to go from the 30-yard line. The Mustangs have yet to attempt a pass, but this is certainly a passing situation. But we know that Harrison Chisholm wants to keep things simple here for the opening game of the season, obviously a non-conference game. On 3rd and 8 from the 30. Barnes with a long count. Play action. Rolls to his right, looking to throw. Wide open underneath. The pass is caught at the 30-yard line. Breaking a tackle. Across the 35. Still on his feet. Across the 35. Towards the 37. Maybe the 38-yard line is Chris Pineda. And that's going to be a Mustang first down. So poor tackling by the Beat Diggers results in a gain of 10.
Trevor Blake's the one. He's tapping himself on the head out there. And he had it, boy. He came up there. He made a great play. But it was one of those things where if you don't have your head in front of the ball carrier, if you have your head behind them, it's going to be an arm tackle, and they're going to break it, and that's what Pineda did. But Blake, he's upset with himself, and I know he's not going to let that happen to himself very often.
First and 10 for Fort Morgan at their own 40-yard line. Their first down of the game after the 10-yard pass play from Barnes to Pineda. Barnes again with a fairly long count, and he will keep it himself, and he's going to be hit in the backfield. He is corralled for a loss of around 2 or 3. Ethan Brost was in there, and also in on the play with a big hit was Kyle Rosenbrock, the freshman, already making his mark in the 9th grade.
You betcha, another freshman out there on the field, and like I said, that's awesome that Coach Dreitz is able to get those younger guys in the game, and that kind of tells you something. That tells you that he's looking at getting those guys a lot of playing time throughout the rest of the year as well.
Second down and 12 to go for the 38-yard line. The Mustangs on their own side of the field, and Barnes going to take it himself, cut it back towards the middle. He's got to see to the 50-yard line, up the sideline to the 40, up to back to the 30, right to tackle, down the sideline to the 15, 10, to the 5, and he is into the end zone. Or is he down at the 1? The referees are discussing it, and I think they're going to mark him down at the 1. Inside the 1, it's going to be a gain of 62 yards for James Martins. I got to tell you, Dave, I think the Beatniggers got a big break there. It looked like he was across the goal line for a touchdown, but instead it's first and goal inside the 1 for Fort Morgan.
I know the Diggers are upset because they felt like they had him right there at the line of scrimmage, but, again, missed tackles. And one thing that happened there with the defense, I think there was a few guys expecting somebody else to make the tackle, and then nobody else did, and everybody was standing around instead of having the pursuit that they normally had on the rest of their defensive plays tonight.
First and goal inside the 1. Martins will hand it off on the right side. Touchdown. An easy plunge across the right side for Jared Volm. And the Mustangs are on the board. It's Brush 15, Fort Morgan 6.
Yeah, they just ran right over the right side. There was a big hole there, and just a good play there by the Mustangs. But, there's a letdown there for the defense. After that big play, it's more of a matter of semantics. Them hadn't even run that last play there so close. The Diggers knew they were going to get 4 shots at it.
Let's see if they attempt the extra point or go for 2, and it looks like, they will attempt the extra point. Well, it is getting windy out here. James Barnes to hold. Jacob Frick will kick it. There's a snap. The kick by Frick is right into the line. It's blocked. It was too low anyway. 4:23 to go, first quarter. Brush 15, Fort Morgan 6 on 1010 KSYR and KSYR.com. 6 plays, 72 yards in 2 minutes and 57 seconds. James Martin's 62-yard run set up the 1-yarder by Jared Volm. The Beatniggers lead, though, 15-6. And Eric Garcia is back to receive with Frick to kick it off. But, yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Dave. On that drive, the Beatniggers did not tackle well, and on that second-to-last play especially.
Sometimes that happens when you get out to a big lead, but then we had that huge break. It kind of stopped the momentum for a while.
And that kick is a low-line driver, and it is picked up by Garcia at the 15-yard line, straight ahead to the 30, has a seat to the left across the 35, and he's tackled at around the 37-yard line. A return of close to 23 yards. Tackle was made by Logan Nestor, the 6'1", 175-pound sophomore.
I'm excited about this field position for Brush just because it's right here in front of us, and we're going to hopefully we're going to get to let them see them run some offense for a while.
Yeah, because the Beatniggers have drives of 36 yards, and that was one play, and a 3-play 15-yard drive. Beatniggers are more of a 4 yards in a cloud of dust team. First and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Lee and Weiser in the backfield. In motion to the right is Garcia, and we've got a whistle. Is that a delay of game already on the first play? On this possession, no illegal procedure. I didn't see the movement, Dave.
I didn't either. But, the Diggers are shooting themselves in the foot a little bit here. They got to sharpen up and relax and play a little football.
First down, and 15 to go. Lee is now out, and Tyler Carter is into the game. We saw Carter against Platte Valley last year have some big runs.
He runs hard.
First and 15 from the 33-yard line. Tormolen turns, hands it off to Weiser, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Weiser got nothing. Might have been thrown for a loss, but a bevy of Mustangs were in on the play, including Cole Frisbee from his defensive tackle position. It is no gain, second, and they'll call it actually a loss of 1, second and 16.
Morgan in that 5-3 defense. So they're going to blitz that A gap. That's the gap that's on each side of the center. And whenever they do that, if the Diggers are running a trap like on that play, they can trip up those guards as they're trying to get across, and then there's nowhere for Weiser to run.
Well, Tormolen is out now. Eric Garcia is going to line up as the Beat Digger quarterback. He was the starter the last 2 years, but had shoulder surgery. And it's been moved around now on the offense, and now we've got a timeout called by the Beat Diggers. Boy, there's a lot of uncertainty right now on offense. Timeout brought to you by Edwards Right Price Market in Flowerland at 1201 East Platte Avenue. In Fort Morgan, stop by and get what you need to refuel on game days at Edwards Right Price Market in Flowerland. And Dave, maybe this is understandable because what you mentioned earlier, the Beat Diggers have had such great field position. They really haven't felt like drives, but now this is a legitimate starting point for a drive and not for 2 or 3 plays and just getting into the end zone like they've done earlier in this game.
Right. You have to learn how to work at it. You can't always have all the big wins. Back when I was coaching wrestling, I remember so many times guys would just pin people, and then when they need to have that big match where they win the close one, they'd struggle a little bit. So that's kind of the same thing here. We get a few quick scores, but we need to try to put together a long, sustained drive and develop that kind of confidence and know that they have the stamina to take the football down the field.
3:28 to go in the opening quarter. Brush 15, Fort Morgan 6. We are at Legion Field in Fort Morgan. Replay of this game to follow. And now under center is Tormolen. Play action. Tormolen rolling to his right, trying to run out of pressure. Still rolling, throws in the run. That pass is complete underneath and towards the first down marker. Tackled it around the 47-yard line off a great pass is Randy Baker. And it's going to be a gain of close to 14 yards.
It was a great catch. He just didn't quite have the strength to break that tackle. He knew where he needed to get for that first down, and it looked like he was trying to run for the stick and run for that yard mark, but he just didn't quite have the strength to break away.
Nice to see a sophomore make that play. 3rd down and 2 for the 46-yard line after the 14-yard completion of Baker. Let's see if this is Connor Weiser time. He could certainly pick up 2 yards and even more. Tormolen will hand it off to the man on the right side, and that's going to be short of a first down. That might have been Carter. And was very close to the 47.5-yard line. That is Tyler Carter. A couple of Mustangs in on the play. Let's see the Beat Diggers go for it. And Randy Brights, normally from this position, would go for it on 4th and 1 for the 47-yard line. We are approaching the 2-minute and 15-second mark of the opening quarter, and the Beat Diggers will go for it, with Brush leading Fort Morgan 15-6. This is the first 4th down attempt of the year. Let's see if the Beat Diggers will make it a successful one. And now we have a timeout. That's going to be called by the Mustangs. We'll take it with them with a score. Brush 15, Fort Morgan 6. This is 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran and Dave Urick back from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. The Beat Diggers came out with a bang with an early 15-0 lead. They now lead 15-6. 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 4th and 1 from their own 47. Carter and Weiser are in the backfield. Tormolen on 4th and 1. We'll hand it off to Weiser. Left side, he spins, and it looks like he squeezed his way right to the marker. It's very, very close. Davis indicating first down. I mean, that is extremely close. I don't think he got a great spot. They're going to have to measure this. Tackled right at the marker. With a couple of Mustangs on the right side of that defensive line to make the play. If I had to guess, Dave, they've got the first down by a couple of inches.
Yeah, it might be. I'm thinking the same thing, like half the length of a football, probably. But, I got to give Fort Morgan credit. They're sure doing a good job of shutting things down inside the tackle.
All of a sudden, the wind is picked up. They stretch out the sticks. And did he get the first down? Barely. Let me tell you, that was not even 2 inches. That was close to less than an inch.
Yeah, he might have just been touching the stick.
Yeah. I mean, it was that close because the official had to bend down towards the ball. He almost tasted it with his nose.
He really had to take a good look at that.
Boy, that was scary. That could have changed the game right now in the first quarter. Now the Beatniggers continue the drive. 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Remaining in the backfield are Weiser and Carter. The Beatnigger quarterback, Tormola, will hand off to Carter across the right side, and he squeezes his way for a yard to the 49-yard line. I tell you, the Beatniggers are normally a solid running team, but they're having some issues at this point.
Yeah, you like to have that 5-yard carry to shoot him out, to make the decisions for that 2nd down and 3rd down call a lot easier, but getting 2 yards on that first play has really been tough on the Diggers so far.
2nd down and 9. T.J. Schneider was in on the play for Fort Morgan from the 49-yard line on their own side on 2nd down and 9. Torbolan will hand it off to Weiser, running left, breaks the tackle at the 50. Stiff arms the man at the 41, and he blows his way to the 41. Picks up 10 yards. Chris Pineda made the tackle, but that is Connor Weiser at his best, just storming his way to the Fort Morgan defense.
Remember, the first 2 carries he had this game, that 8-yard carry and that 5-yard carry that basically put him in the end zone. Both of those plays were similar to that, where he headed off tackle and then bounced it to the outside. Let me tell you, that wasn't just a stiff arm. That was a stiff shove, because once he made contact, he didn't just stop the kid. He pushed him down to the ground.
Less than a minute to go in the opening quarter. Brush leads Fort Morgan 15-6 inside the 41-yard line of the Mustangs. 1st and 10. Now Chris Lee's in the backfield along with Weiser. Tormolan barking out the signals. Will turn, and now will bootleg it to his right. He's got plenty of room to the 35-yard line, up the sideline to the 30, cuts it back to the 25. He's got a 1st down and a gain of close to 16 yards. The quarterback, Mitch Tormolan, was tackled by Jared Ball, but an excellent play fake by the Beatnigger QB.
You bet. And they sold it. They sold the fakes that backfield. The running back sold those fakes too. Fort Morgan was going after Weiser and Chris Lee. They didn't even know Tremolin had the ball on his hip. And if anybody had any questions whether Tremolin could take off and run with the football, that answered him, because he ran away from some people and he showed he has some savvy for creating those angles to run.
1st and 10 to the Mustang 25-yard line. Garcia is now the quarterback. Handoff Weiser, and he's tripped up after a gain of around 2 to the 23-yard line. And it looked like getting a piece of the ball carrier was Jose Miranda, and that is the final play of the opening quarter with the score. Brush 15, Fort Morgan 6. You're listening to 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.